The Random Jottings of Donald J. in Nelson in Pendle, Lancashire. Little Folk Foulridge Area around Lake Burwain near Colne. Unknown further comments. The area around the lake is reportedly home to boggarts and hobs. There are also stories of ghostly Roundheads moving around the area, some on horseback and others wearily walking holding pikes. Deep in the heart of Foulridge, near Lake Burwain, lived a group of little folk. These were not your typical fairies, but rather a mixture of boggarts and hobs who had formed a tight-knit community. They had been living in the area for generations and knew every nook and cranny of the surrounding woods and hills. Despite their diminutive size, the little folk were a force to be reckoned with. They were masters of the natural world and could call upon the spirits of the land to aid them in times of need. They had their own customs and traditions, and would often be seen dancing and singing in the moonlight. But life wasn't always easy for the little folk. There were many dangers lurking in the woods, and they had to be constantly on guard against human hunters and other creatures who sought to do them harm. There were also ghostly Roundheads who haunted the area, their spectral forms seen riding horses or marching wearily with pikes in hand. Despite these challenges, the little folk were a resilient bunch. They worked together to build their homes, tend their gardens, and protect their community from harm. They had a deep respect for the natural world and all the creatures that lived in it. One day, a young human girl stumbled upon the little folks' community. She was lost in the woods and had been wandering for hours when she saw a glimmer of light in the distance. Curiosity got the better of her, and she followed the light until she came upon a clearing where the little folk were gathered. At first, the little folk were wary of the human girl. They had heard stories of how humans had destroyed forests and polluted rivers, and they were hesitant to trust her. But the girl was kind and respectful, and she soon won their trust. The little folk showed the girl their way of life, and she was amazed at their connection to the natural world. She learned how to speak to the spirits of the land, how to gather herbs for healing, and how to dance under the moonlight. And in return, she taught the little folk about the world beyond the woods, about human customs and traditions, and about the importance of protecting the environment. As time passed, the little folk and the human girl became fast friends. They shared many adventures together, and the girl would often visit the little folks' community, bringing gifts of food and clothing. And the little folk, in turn, would share their knowledge and magic with her. In the end, the little folk realized that humans were not all bad. They saw that there were those who could live in harmony with nature and who respected the creatures of the woods. And they welcomed the human girl into their community, knowing that she would always be a friend to the little folk of Foulridge. By Donald J.